Types of T cells. Cytotoxin T cells, which contain CD8+, directly kill other cells. Helper T cells help regulate B cells with CD4. Antigen-presenting cells have nuclei and MHC class 1. Nucleated cells have MHC class 1. Antigens are pieces of pathogens recognized as foreign and worthy of attack by immune system. Epitopes are part of the pathogen that determines the immune system. Exogenous extracellular, presented by phagocytes. Endogenous intracellular, presented by infected cell. Autoantigens comes from self-healthy cell. Antibodies is free immunoglobulin, activate, complement, and inflammation. Neutralize toxins are viruses or bacteria blocking adhesion molecules on the surface. Opsonization help coat pathogens so phagocytes can eat. Agglutination clump pathogens together. ADCC coats pathogens using NK cells. The classes are IgM, which is the first secreted class, IgG, which is the most common, IgA, which is secreted in tears and breast milk, IgE signals to the E word, eosinophils that kill parasites, IgD, not secreted, help B cells, membrane. An inflorescent microscopy is a way to tell if a patient has been exposed to a pathogen. Blood typing is antibodies agglutination. ELISA, sensitive test for exposure link and Muscabra. Primary is affect infants and developmental defect without T cells and B cells. Secondary is later developed from malnutrition and stress. Passive immunity is provided by antibodies made from another source. Active immunity is body developed by itself. Active immunity when the body develops antibodies itself. Okay. Artificial passive is external of antibodies to fight infection, which has IgG. Artificial active develops after, which is something like the vaccine. Naturally active is after exposure to an antigen in an environment. Naturally passive is transfer of maternal antibodies across the placenta, which has IgG, or breast milk, IgA. The endogenous processed by nucleated cell, has MHC class 1, displayed to CD8+ or cytotoxin T cells and results in CM1. Exogenous is professional API using MHC class 2 to display to CD4 or T helper displayed to B cells and result in AMI. How immunoglobulins perform inside the body. They activate, neutralize, opposition, agglutination, and ADCC. The diagnostic is agglutination, immunopropation, fluorescent microscopy, Western blots, and ELISA, which detect whether a certain antigen is present. Cells that produce and secrete antibodies are plasma cells, which come from B cells activated by helper T cells. Receiving an flu vaccination is artificial active. Sick with COVID is natural active immunity. Being treated for COVID is artificially passive immunity. And transferring IgG's placenta is naturally acquired passive immunity. Producing your own antibodies is active immunity. Antibodies by someone else is passive immunity. Attenuated is made with live microbes able to produce but not cause disease. More potent, less safe. Inactivated is made with killed microbes that cannot reproduce. Safer, but not strain response. Opportunistic infections, more common in people with immunications. The vaccine types are attenuated, which is live weakened pathogen, and activated, which is killed pathogen, toxoid, which is ill-natured toxin, combination, which contains several antigens, recombinant, variable antigen uses recombinant DNA, and then RNA, which is translated by host cells into protein, which acts as an antigen. Injection and treatment is in artificial context. Type 1 is IgE antibodies produced against allergens, activates the E word to release histamines. Type 2 is IgG and IgM. Remember two, IgG and IgM, those are two things, which produced against body cells targeted for lysis. Type 3, non-phagocytized, accumulate by tissues, causing inflammation and tissue damage. And the fourth one, type IV, are cytotoxic T cells attack the body cells. Naturally active immunity is exposure to antigens and environment. Artificial active immunity developed after administration, which is the vaccine. Artificial passive, IgG immunity, antibodies fight infection. Natural passive immunity, transfer antibodies across placenta, IgG or breast milk. MHC1 and 2 contain macrophage cell. Cytotoxin T cells directly kill the cell. MHC1 is CD8, MHC2 is CD4. Endogenous is MHC1. Infected already is MH1.